What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I want to break down exactly the ultimate software guide for wholesaling real estate in 2023. And really, what I want to do is break down a bunch of software, because what I think in wholesaling real estate is every single YouTuber, influencer, guru, shmuru, everyone, they all come out here and they all say, this is the only software you need. It's going to change your entire life and it's going to make everything perfect. And it's all roses and daisies. Just sign here, right? And honestly, I was part of that trap when I started out in wholesaling. I saw people do softwares. I signed up for a bunch of them, right? And honestly, in my 6+ years of wholesaling real estate, I've gone through pretty much every software, every SMS, every Skiptracing software, every type of list polling, comp polling type tool. I've done it all. I've seen all of them. And really what I could tell you is, just a quick tip, like I've actually done deals from pretty much all of these type of software. So I've seen the ins and outs of them. I've talked to all the owners. I've seen all this. And really what I want to do is really break down the software so you can understand what they are. And the one thing, a lot of these people are not going to be happy with me, and it's fine, but I'm just going to say it. I'm the only one on YouTube who ever says this, but these are software tools, okay? These are not software like necessities. You do not need any of these tools to become successful in wholesaling. And I'll tell you this straight up. These are tools, like I've said. This is having a shovel versus having like a little plastic kiddie shovel, okay? A nice metal shovel will be very nice for me to go do my work in, right? If I had to dig a hole in the beach that was, let's say 4 feet deep with a regular shovel, that's a cool tool. Like that's going to help me. And if I had to use my hands, it would probably take me 5x as long. But if you only use that shovel for 30 minutes and I use my hands for like 4 hours, I'm probably going to dig even more with my hands than with the shovel tool. And I just want you guys to understand that even if you can't afford the software and you don't use the tool, you can outwork people using the tool, right? Like you can become more successful. And I want everybody to understand, I made my first $100,000 in wholesaling real estate with a notepad and bandit signs. I had no softwares really at all. Okay, actually, I'd Google Voice, but I could use my personal cell. So, all right, we'll use that for a different time. But really, pretty much no paid software my first $100,000 in wholesaling real estate. So that being said, you don't need it, right? It's not a necessity. But what I want to do today, which is something that I think is probably one of the most powerful things in the wholesaling industry, is giving the power to the people. There's not one person on YouTube that's going to give you an independent thoughts on all these paid softwares and what they actually mean, what parts they suck at, what parts they're really good at, and the cost and everything like that. Nobody ever does that, right? Because the software companies, which I have no problem with them, but usually they're like, they don't say it, but the gurus pretty much, they do this where, oh my gosh, I'm only going to promote this software service and everything else is there. So you'll probably see YouTube people say, Propstream is the greatest thing in the world. Batch leads is the devil. It's the worst thing. And they got people saying batch leads is the best and Propstream's the devil. It's the worst thing in the world. Don't ever use it, right? And it's so weird. It's so binary, right? It's like, I'm on this political party. I'm this. People get political parties with their softwares. And honestly, I guess I'm an independent when it comes to these softwares. I think each software has their strengths and weaknesses, and I'm going to share with you exactly which ones to use. And one thing I could tell you, and then we're going to get in the intro, is I think every single avatar of a wholesaler, one software is better than the other for you, right? So if you're really into SMS, maybe the software is going to be the best. If you're really big into cold calling, this software is probably going to be the best, right? If you don't do any of those things, this software is going to be better, right? I think software is for the individual person. There's not a one-size-fits-all approach to it, but that's just me. So what I want to do is really break down the ultimate software guide for 2023, because you get inundated with softwares and all this and blah, 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 blah. And I honestly think some softwares absolutely just suck. They're absolutely terrible. And I want to break that all down too. So what I want to do is break that all down. But before I get into it, y'all already know what to do, okay? Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and comment below your questions so you don't miss a live stream and I can answer your questions, right? Make sure you hit that bell too so you get notified when I go live. Sometimes go live at different times for holidays and stuff. So that's when to break it down. Matt wants to know, is this a live? This is pre-recorded. So this is not live, actually. I popped up your comment live to show you that this was a pre-recorded live, I'm just kidding, man. This is live. All right. So let's get it going. Let's get the intro going and let's get some money.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Oh, snap. We're ready to go. How doesn't that jack you up? We're ready to go. So, guys, let's kind of break down my software guide and the softwares. And honestly, what I have seen with softwares is they really are put into about 4 distinct categories. And those are really the categories I want to talk about today. And so you can really understand how they work, right? Theoretically, they're 3. Okay, you know what? We'll do 5. Okay, we'll do 5 software type. There's 5 types of software, and I'm gonna explain each one and how to use which ones and which ones you should be using, right? So let's kind of go over the categories, and I'll break down exactly how to do it, right? So let's talk about it, right? So number 1 is comps. There are software tools for comps and finding ARV and how much you should offer a property, right? These are all really important things you have to have in wholesaling real estate, right? And there's free comp tools, there's paid comp tools, right? And there's a lot of ways to find what properties are being sold for, so you figure out what the thing is being sold for. So, right, like the number one thing in wholesaling real estate is like, okay, so I'm looking at a deal right here, and it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in this area. How do I know what this dang thing's worth so I can buy it for a discount and wholesale it, right? Like, that's a huge question everyone gets, right? Well, the only way you're going to figure out how much that thing's worth and how much you can stink and sell it for is by looking at what other properties like that are being sold for, right? So I'm kind of looking at the comps here, and I'm like, okay, what is this thing going to be worth, right? I'm like, okay, so if these properties selling for 100 square foot, 120, 90, I look at about 100 square foot, it's 1,200 square feet, thing's probably worth $120,000 brand spanking new. Put my calculators in there, do it all nice, right? That's how comps work, and really, there's a lot of ways in softwares you can do it. They make it all fancy and sexy and all these crazy things. But honestly, what I could tell you is if you have no money, right? Like no money starting out, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. You should probably just do Zillow or Realtor.com. Okay, so I'm going to write this down for people. Now, you should still be using softwares if you have no money. Okay, so Zillow and Realtor.com, these are definitely the ones you should be using. And honestly, it's going to help you out a lot figuring out what the thing's worth, right? So I'm just going to go to Zillow right here. I'm just going to show you like how to find out comp in just a random market. So let's look here. Okay. So if I go here and I look at, let's do a property that is currently for sale. All right. So this is really quick example for you guys, just so you all can understand what I'm talking about here with a free type of software. Let's just go after one piece of real estate. All right, this is in Stockton, okay? So, nope, that's a unit. Let's do a single family property. These are all condos. All right, here we go. We have a 4.2, which is just on the market for $203,000, all right? So I got Zillow and Realtor, so I'm on Zillow right now, and I'm like, all right, how am I going to figure out what this property is worth, right? I got some pictures of it, all right? So all I'm going to do is look for, like, this is really quick and easy and simple, but like, all right, I'm going to go here. All right. So I'm seeing what these things are here. I kind of look here. I'm like, okay, let's look at similar homes. So if this is going to be in the 95207, these are 4.2s. All I'm really going to do is just look up the 92507 area code and really look in these areas that sold, right? And then I'm going to do, I don't really care about a maximum here, but I want to look at houses that sold recently. Let's say that sold in the last 90 days that was less than 1,500 square feet. Okay. And so I kind of got a good little base here. Let's do bedrooms too. Let's do the 4-bedroom too. So 4 2s in the last 3 months that sold here are selling pretty good. And this might show an ARV is going to be a little higher here. So we got this one very similar. Looks pretty nice here. This one's looking good. 1,300 square feet, 405. So not too bad for if we look at our subject property. Now, if I kind of look at any here and go from there, and now I'm looking at, we have a comp here for 285 in that area, 380, 329. I'm really going to look at some of the higher and lows and kind of do an average in this area, and then figure out what the comparables are for the property. You do the same thing with realtor.com and things like that, right? Like it's pretty simple how you do that, right? Then obviously you can go pay for software, right? So what are some other comp softwares that you can pay for, right? You're going to be like listrei.com, zachdata.com. I mean, you guys hear me scream about it all the stinking time. These are just paid softwares, but really, I want everybody to watch this to understand this. And this is something no real estate guru is ever going to tell you. You don't need to pay a software or pay any money to do comps, okay? If you're outside of a disclosure state, if you are in a non-disclosure state, it might actually be a good idea because you're going to have MLS access to see comps. And what do I mean by that? So let's talk about non-disclosure states, okay? I'll put them in the comments for you. But really what a non-disclosure state is it is a state that, so when I say comp, a comp is a comparable. So when I want to see how much the thing sold for, pretty much for most of America out here, and this is for 99% of America out here, right? If a property sold, you can actually see how much it's sold for. It's actually public information. Now, if you're in a state, Alaska, Idaho, Kansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, some places in there, Montana, New Mexico, North Dakota, Texas, Utah, Wyoming. So for the majority of the people watching this, Texas, Utah, and Louisiana, and then Missouri are going to be like the major metros in there that are going to be non-disclosure, which means if I look at that subject property, I don't even know what the thing sold for, the comps in the area. And there are some hacks, like for all my Houston people, if you go to har.com, you can actually get comps for free there. So Houston actually makes it pretty easy. Kind of shocking, but another thing a guru never wants to tell you. But you can really find, you're going to have to pay to be a realtor to get this information. But you can pay a software like listrei.com or zachdata.com where you can pull leads and get MLS access, right? So I'll show you some of those too. But yeah, you can do that if you're in a non-disclosure state. That's the only states I'd recommend for just comps if you have to pay for something, but still, that's still on the fence, right? And so the next part here is list polling, right? And these aren't tutorials on the softwares because I think y'all can look me up on freelisting.com and see the tutorials on the softwares. And honestly, everyone can get a free trial to these things and just look at them and kind of make their decision from there. If that's something I want to do, right? So I have a free trial for all the softwares. Usually somebody can only have a free trial for one, but I want everyone to try everything out for free. And the software companies are okay with me doing that because I'm not a stinking broke guru, they say. But all right, so the next one's list polling. So as you guys know, and as I've said a million times, the best type of leads to poll are the leads that you can't buy. So this is counterintuitive to what I'm saying about paying for a software to go buy a list, right? It's kind of counterintuitive what I've said. And I agree with you. I honestly still think you should not, if you are making less than probably 100K a year in wholesaling real estate, right? I recommend that you have to pull government lists over pretty much anything else. That should be your main priority. Trying for dollars in government lists should be your main priority right now, especially in this market, right? And unless you're doing virtual and other things, right? If you can't go in person, I get it, right? But what I can tell you is for most people watching this right now, I would recommend you just pull government lists, code violations, probates, water shutoffs, tax liens, tax delinquencies, pre-foreclosures, the arrest records, bail bondsman type lists, right? All the lists I teach you for free at freeholding.com. Like I'm not calling myself cheap, but I've been broke and I've recently, not recent, but like within 6 years ago, I was broke. So like I still hardwired in my mind being broke 6 years ago at 17 years old having no money into wholesaling, knowing the stress of that. I could not afford $100 a month for a software. Like, I completely agree. Like, I completely get it, right? And because 6-7 years ago, I was completely broke, I always put myself in that mindset. And that's something I never forget, right? And that's why I just don't think you should pay for list pulling, especially when you're starting out, right? So you should get the free list, and the free lists are better too. Like, that's the big secret. And I'm making a software video telling you that y'all should probably just pull the free stuff that you don't even have to use software for. And that's just stuff that in my good conscience, I know that's best for you, and that's what I'm going to tell you. So government lists, and from there it's going to be good. But like, when you're scaling up, when you're making a lot more money in wholesaling, right? Maybe you're doing virtual and you can't do some of these lists, right? Maybe you're going to pay to pull some lists. And what I could tell you is it's going to be very hard. And I'm saying this very outside of drawing for dollars and probates, it's going to be very hard to make $1 million a year without buying lists. Okay. It's almost impossible. Okay. And the only truth to that statement is just because it's a scalability factor, right? I think for most people, they pull the government leads, there's probably $500,000 a year in deals there. And I think that's what most people need to get to first, right? When you're starting to scale up, you're doing direct mail, SMS, cold calling on a larger scale. That's when you got to start pulling high equities, tired landlords, heck, zombie properties, right? Absentee owners, and start marketing out to those leads. That's when you got to use a service like ZachData.com or ListREI.com. And that's where I think for the majority of scaling, that's when it's really a necessity. But for list pulling, if you still want to make 100K, there's plenty of people that do that and it works really well. I just want you guys to pull the list the right way. So I want everybody to understand this too. This is a big disclaimer for everybody watching this. And this is a huge one. If y'all going to write a note here, that it's more important, the filters on the lists, than the list itself, if you're really going to look at it, right? If you pull just a vacant property list, because it's a vacant, you're probably going to fail on it. You're going to waste a ton of money. You're probably not going to do as good as you should do because you're not pulling the list the right way. If you use the filters I teach you guys at freewholesaling.com, which is my free real estate wholesaling course, which I'll put on the top left here, you're going to be set up for success. And what I can tell everybody is, if you don't have the filters right, the person owns less than 5 properties, right? The property is worth below the median home price, right? The property has enough equity in the deal. Like the stuff that you should do at freewholesaling.com, which is right here. I have specific filters so you can pull the list the right way. And if you can pull these lists the right way, you're going to do fine, right? So what are the best software for list pulling, right? I mean, it's pretty much going to be the same as they always are, right? It's going to be listrei.com, listrei.com, ZachData.com, right? Like I talk about all these softwares all the time. But really, if I'm going to pull a list for scaling, I'm probably going to use those two because they got a lot of stuff going on with them, right? And I'll just kind of talk about them, right? So let's kind of just talk about what they are, right? And I'll just break them down. So we got, number one, you got listrei.com. That's AKA Propstream. So you get a free trial for that. And really what it is, it's a software where you can pull lists. You can do comps. You can go out here and really pull leads. You can actually do a rehab calculator. It has a free drawing for dollars app on it. I mean, you just look at freewholesaling.com. It talks about it all the time. I'm not here to like tell you how good it is, right? Like I just check it out if you like it, right? But I want people to be educational on what it is, right? So listrei.com costs $99 a month. And the other one is ZachData.com. And ZachData.com is basically I'm not calling it a rival company, but it's just another software company I'm not calling it the same, right? Because they are actually completely different. But if you're really going to look at it from a beginner, they're very similar, right? They pull lists, they have Skiptracing, they'll do comps for you, right? They have a free drawing for dollars app. Very, very similar, right? And they're competing companies. You know, I kind of call it like a PC and Mac, right? Like one's not better than the other, and they're both competing and they're both getting better and better. So ZachData.com is pretty much the same, $99 a month, right? You can go pull lists, right? Nothing too crazy, sexy, different with these, but like pretty simple, right? So like right here is, where is it? Right here's what listrei.com is. So I'll just show y'all really quick. I don't want to get in a whole tutorial on this because I'm not, but this is it. So I can go like Palm Beach County in Florida. I can filter out. I can do liens. So like, I'll give you a quick example. Like I just click the lien list and get all the liens locally in Palm Beach County. And I can be like, okay, I want to pull liens, but I want properties that are just vacant right now, sitting there with liens. That's a good list right here, right? I'm gonna let that load up. I'm going to go do residential real estate, right? I'm going to pop up all these things out here and really pull the best type of list possible, right? And it's not really that big of a list, right? And that's kind of the point. I want to make sure the property's not on the market, and I can go on and on and on. I want to make sure there's some equity on the deal, right? So maybe I want them to own more than 5. Like if I'm doing a really tiny, like really important list for Palm Beach, I can go buy, so I can do the water shut off list in this software, right? I can do a lot of stuff, right? Tax liens, all that fun jazz, right? Equity, I want to make sure there's at least 60% equity on the deal. And then from there, I want to make sure the property is not worth more than 500K because there's some like $100 million houses in Palm Beach. All right. So this isn't really a lot because this is just a tiny list that I would probably reverse drive for dollars. Okay. Like if I'm going to reverse drive for dollars, this is hands down a list I'm going to do. Like this is actually a huge money list because people aren't living in the house. I would cold call this list too. People aren't living in the house and they have a lien actively on the property. That's money, 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 money right there, right? And so that's a really good list here. But yeah, like I can just do a list like that, right? Pretty simple, pretty easy. That's listrea.com, freelisting.com. We kind of show you a little more on it, but just try it out for free. Then you got zachdata.com, right? And we'll compare the two softwares really quick. I've done some comparisons before on this, but really like I can go pull a list. I'll do Nashville, right? And they're very, I'm not calling them very similar, but like if you're really looking at wholesaling from a macro perspective, they do a lot of the similar things. They pull lists. So I can go here. I can get a property vacant or mailing vacant. Slightly different one on there. I can pull the right list, right? Make sure the MLS not on the market, right? I can go do residential, right? Boom, boom, boom. I can just apply it from there too. You get a little more detailed filtering, but you get a little less list on batch I've seen for some things. Ownership info, right? So individual, right? You can do this with pretty much anything, right? All right, I'm going to make sure there's a lien on the property. Just do all of them. Skip mechanics liens on here too. They're a little more into these liens too, which is pretty cool. So you can actually pull the IRS debt lien list from here. Valuation, make sure it's not worth more than 500K. Equity, I want at least 60% equity on this one. I actually get into loan types and stuff, which is really good for creative financing. But remember, I have the really expensive version of Batch. So I can kind of get into interest rates and things like that, right? And then I just click apply. And then there's not much on here because Nashville's smaller than Palm Beach County, obviously. But like you can do the same thing there, right? And you just do a lot more. So zachdata.com, listarea.com. Question is, what's the big difference between them, right? I've honestly found that Batch Leads has way better skip tracing. And if you're using SMS with it, it's actually going to be the best deal for that. Now, if you don't do SMS, I'd probably do Propstream because Propstream is a little more into lists. Now, cash buyers, they're both kind of up in the air. I think they're both really good for cash buyers. So I always tell everyone if you're struggling to find cash buyers, which you all know in the future, cash buyers are probably the most important thing, especially now, you're going to pull the actual cash sales, which no other guru talks about, but these softwares pull cash sales and stuff on there. So that's why I like them, right? There's a million other ones like, Zach, what about Property Radar? What about this one? This one pulls lists for me. What about this? Guys, I've seen each one and I've actually used each one in my own business. I've done mailings on each one. I've done texting on each one. I've done it all. Okay. I've literally done all of them. And what I could tell you is there's always a funny one, but like, oh, what about this stuff? What about this stuff? What? I don't care about that software. Okay. I've actually looked at every single one. Those two main ones, okay, for list polling specifically and comps, no one can really touch them. And what I mean by that, they both pour millions and millions of dollars every single year in research and development. Okay. They put millions of dollars into making the best data possible, which these other software companies just can't. And a lot of these leads are getting from secondary sources, and they are getting the best data possible, research and development, which is the way a software company should be run. I always tell everybody, and I will say this one more time. People think I say something mean by it. It's true, but So I always say this. If a software company is being run by a guru, you got to run. Okay. And I mean, let's not even call it a guru. Let's just call it a wholesaler. All right. I'm getting a ton of trouble for saying this, but I can live by this statement. A wholesaler cannot run a software company. What I mean by this, if you're an active wholesaler, fix and flipper, whatever you want to be called, you cannot effectively run a wholesaling company. And what I mean by this, all right? So let's look at Batch Leads, all right? Batch Leads is owned by Jesse Burrell, Evo, and Annie. And really, what they're three wholesalers that got together made a software company, right? And they were making that software company while wholesaling. And obviously, software, you can make a ton of money doing it, right? And they eventually just went all in on the software. And looking at their day-to-day operations and growing a software company to make it the best possible software possible, you can't be running other things. You have to actually focus on the software. There's three people focusing on software, right? The way software works is you actually have to pour all your money into the software development. You have to put millions of dollars to get the best software type possible. And you have to dedicate all your time. Look at Facebook with Mark Zuckerberg, right? You look at all the stinking best softwares ever. You had to go all in. You had to treat it like a software startup and not treat it like a wholesaling business. A lot of these wholesalers create their own softwares and they do things, right? They won't let you have a free trial. They'll cheap out on the data. They'll make Skiptracing super bad because they're trying to make a profit. If you run a software company by trying to make a profit, you will lose. You have to just constantly try to make the software the best it possibly can be. So when I look at softwares and wholesaling, if they are run by an active wholesaler, I know they're not dedicating their time to making the software the best, and I can't afford to do that, right? You look at DealMachine, right? David Lecko, great example, right? He was a wholesaler. He went all in on DealMachine, and he had to do that to make it a really amazing drawing for dollar software. Top Skiptracing people, right? So if you have a wholesaler who's owning a software company and telling you to do that, this is why I will never own a software company, because I would literally have to put 80 hours a week into making it the best it possibly can be because people are trusting me with their money. I can't do that, right? Propstream, I think, got sold for $200 million. And that guy, he's still the CEO there. He went all in on the software type thing on there too. Like, you look at the top software people, they're not running other businesses, okay? They are just doing that type of business. So I'll tell you guys, this is not me saying anything mean about other softwares, but if the software company is being owned by somebody that's not really caring about the software and stuff like that, I wouldn't recommend it, right? It's got to be somebody that's actually actively making it the best it possibly can be. So just, that's a quick litmus test on if a software is going to be good or not. And a lot of people will be upset with me, but a lot of y'all actually know I'm telling the truth. If your software company and software in general for wholesaling is being run by a wholesaler, it's not good. If somebody was a former wholesaler, that's a great one, but now they're all in the software. That's what I found, because you have to pour tens of millions of dollars into the software. And if you're maybe putting $500K into it because you're just trying to make a profit off of people, it ain't going to do well, right? And I'm not specifically calling out any software. This is just software in general. And yeah, I see it all the stinking time. So just be careful with that, right? And I see that, like, I've seen SMS text blasting companies just get destroyed because they don't care and the data is terrible. So that's the point. So, like, for an example, if your software company and whatever software you do for list pulling doesn't have a free trial, like, let's do DMZach.com, for example. Okay. DMZach.com is a drawing for dollar software. It does comps, list pulling, MLS. It has a bunch of other stuff too, but specifically why I really like it is it's got good skip tracing and it is a drawing for dollars, really, right? You can do a free trial on that. What I want you guys to understand is when you do a free trial, you do 7 days, I think you get $10. So they lose at least $15 for you to pop on that free trial. I know Propstream, Batch Leads, ZachData.com, you get 1,000 free list pulls. So I know for a fact they spend $15 for you to do that. Propstream, they give you 7 days. It costs them at least $20. So if you sign up for DMZach.com, you're going to DealMachine is going to lose $20, and that they lose a lot of money doing that. But they do it because they want you to actually understand the software and see if it's actually the right fit for you. They lose a bunch of money. When a wholesaler runs a software company, they don't do free trials because they don't want to lose the money because they only care about money. And that's when things get changed. That's why I enjoy software companies that actually know what they're doing. This is why softwares are usually free trials. Adobe, all these thinking ones. So just letting everybody understand, if you want to figure out on your own if a software company is good for wholesaling, just think about that. If they have a free trial or not, that's it, right? Skiptracing is a little different, but just look at it, right? I'm just telling everybody. I get in a lot of trouble for saying that, but it is the absolute truth. So you got list pulling there, right? And so I'll just talk about dmzach.com really quick. So dmzach.com, again, is just DealMachine, which is a drawing for dollars app. So if you're drawing for dollars, it is $59 a month. And all you basically you can do is you get an app you can drive for dollars really well, reverse drive for dollars, do MLS comps, a bunch of stuff. You can do virtual G for D, right? You do a lot of stuff here. You can click this, click that, drive on there. You can click up a property, get information on it, right? And do very well, right? That is sort of the point here. And it works really well, right? It's the best drawing for dollars app out there. It blows Batch and Propstream out of the water. What I can tell you though is Batch's free drawing for dollars app is probably one of the best ones out here. Like, and I can tell everyone, if you have zachdata.com right now, I probably want to get DealMachine just because how good it is. If you have Propstream, I'd probably get dmzach.com. And if you really want to up it, if you have Batch, I'd probably get DealMachine 2 on top of that, just because it's the best one out here, especially for virtual drawing for dollars. You can't beat it, and you get free marketing credits, stuff like that. So pretty cool. Next is SMS text blasting, right? We got a lot of SMS text blasting people on here. What I could tell you is there's a bunch of them, and I'm just going to pop up the list, right? So what I can tell you is there's going to be Roor, which is ROOR. That's really going. So what I could actually, I'll give you a quick story on it, and I don't want to bore you all to death, but I've tried every SMS text blasting company out there. I've tried each one. They all use Twilio pretty much. And that's a big secret every SMS company doesn't want you to know, but I reveal secrets on here, right? And what I can tell you is because they use that, they basically use a big company to do the texting for you, and they kind of make the front end. They code it that way. And this is how software works. So pretty much every software company is using the same person to text out. Now, what's different is they use spinner tokens. They can change the way the format is done to make the deliverability better, right? That's the little stuff, right? So what are the top SMS text blasting platforms out here, right? So I just want to give you a quick list for you guys can see it. So I've tried each one, right? And I'll tell you, when I started out in wholesaling real estate for SMS text blasting, I used Lead Sherpa. And I think Lead Sherpa was probably at the time the best SMS software out there, hands down. There's nothing that could have beat. It was unlimited for I think $400 or $500 a month. I was sending out 5,000 texts a day. I was making a stupid amount of money, like a stupid amount of money. They changed it because they lost a bunch of money because I was doing stuff like that. But eventually they had carrier issues, and I went over to Launch Control. Did really well there. Had some little slight deliverability issues. And then I went over to zachdata.com, and that changed a lot for me, right? And then I did really well from there. And then, so pretty much what I want everybody to understand is my top ones I do recommend. So I'll write them down for you. So I can only tell you which ones I recommend. And so these three, and I kind of have a list of all of them, but I'll tell you this. So there's a little list here, okay? For SMS, I would say Launch Control, zachdata.com, and Lead Sherpa are going to be the three best ones. And I know everyone's, oh, what about this one guy? Hey, whoa. We're going to break down all of them, all right? Just don't attack me right now. These three services are ones that I've independently used their Skiptracing, texted out, and gotten deals from, okay? So I've gotten deals on all three of these type of SMS software. So if you guys want to know which ones I've actually independently done, texted, gotten a bunch of deals, these are going to be the three ones, all right? What about this one? What about that? Hold on, all right? I'm just letting everybody know. This is what it is, all right? So these are them. They are not the cheapest out here, but they give you the best bang for your buck if it comes to getting deliverability out and getting deals, right? Now, where are the other ones, right? There's Launch Control, there's Lead Sherpa, there's Roor, the Smarter Contact, and REI Reply. I've heard people getting deals from all of these ones. The one I could tell you, which I would probably be careful of, is REI Reply. REI Reply is not a bad software, Okay. It is not about it's not about texting software. The issue with it is if you don't know what you're doing there, you'll absolutely have terrible results. It is not for the faint of heart. It's definitely, you're going to have to know what you're doing. And I would say probably for 90% of wholesalers out here that just sign up because REI Reply is the cheapest, you're going to get a 30 to 40% deliverability rate, which I've seen from people sending me information from there. There's some guys and gals out here that do really well with it, but those people know what they're doing. If you go out there not knowing what you're doing, it's going to be bad. All the other services, Smarter Contact, Roor, Lead Sherpa, Launch Control, ZachData.com, you can really dummy proof it because they actually force you to make spinner tokens, do all this stuff. You can kind of run through REI Reply and not do well if you don't know what you're talking about. So I just want people to understand that it's not the end of the world, right? But it's just kind of funny that the way you really look at it. So I just want people to understand that when it comes to those SMS companies. Now, I have Skiptracing too, right? So again, Propstream's probably going to be really good for Skiptracing, batch leads. I'll tell you too, I don't use Sherpa, Lead Sherpa anymore or Launch Control for SMS, but I've tested out their Skiptracing still, and it's still really good data. Like I'll tell you, like their Skiptracing still very good. And what I can tell you is good Skiptracing. This is how Skiptracing companies work. I just want you guys to understand. I'll go out here and get a credit bureau data. All right. And what credit bureau data basically is if I'm a big credit card company, I'm John Smith and I applied for my loan to buy this beat up old house. All right. All right. I'm applying for credit. I put Zach Ginn and then I put my phone number on there. And then I give it to the credit bureau company to do my credit. That credit bureau company is going to go sell that data, Zach Ginn and his phone number, out to other people. Right. And they use 3 big companies that bring it from the bureau data. All right. And what happens is Propstream, batch leads, Lead Sherpa, Launch Control. They could say it's different, but for motion, that's what they do. They'll buy that data for about 10 cents a record. The cheapest I've ever seen is 9 cents a record, all the way up to 15 cents. So they'll buy it for 9 cents and then charge you 12 cents for that data, and they'll make 3 cents on each record, right? There's admin stuff and it's expensive to do, right? And I totally get it, right? That being said, if your Skiptracing is 2 cents on Fiverr, there is no shot that they're buying fresh data from Credit Bureau that's going to be the best for you. They're either stealing somebody's old data or they're using reused data from somebody else. So when everyone says, I use Fiverr for 2 cents, bruh, come on. You're not getting the best data out here. It's cheaper, but you're actually going to pay more in the outrun because you're spending more money on texting. You're spending more money on actually cold calling, and you got to Skiptrace the list. I hate it, right? TruePeopleSearch.com is the best free Skiptracing. TruePeopleSearch.com. I'll write that down for everybody. And that is not credit bureau data, but it's going to be as good as you can get when you got no money. So TruePeopleSearch.com. Not the best one in the world, but it's absolutely for free. So I don't think you can go wrong with it, right? And then the other, right? And so what's the other one? So the only other software I'd probably recommend other than the ones I kind of mentioned is really 2. Actually not. I'll actually call it 3. All right. So I think everybody needs a dialer, and you can get a free dialer too. What dialer should you use, right? I would probably say if you're trying to get a dialer, so just to make phone calls in your wholesaling business, bandit signs, things, you should not use your personal cell phone number. I would probably use Google Voice, which is free. Now, if you're going to pay for it, I'd probably use CallRail or Vumber, which you pay for online phone numbers. Because I have all these type of things. So if I have bandit signs, direct mail, and then probate letters, I got to know which one each one's coming from. So I can pay for services to kind of do that for me. So that's how the dialers work. Now, if I want a CRM, which is a customer relationship manager, basically what that is, it is a database of all of our leads. To organize it, just use Podio, podio.com, go from there. Freewholesaling.com, I break down a full Podio tutorial. Overall, guys, that is how these softwares are. You can get free trials, you can try them out. I recommend on the bottom here, go to freewholesaling.com, and I'm really going to break down how they all work, right? And there's a whole one there. And so the last one, and one of the most contentious ones that everyone keeps telling me to talk about, is Privy. And like, oh, what's Privy? Talk about Privy. Like, Privy. All right. So let me tell you the truth about Privy. Privy is only good for one thing: wholesaling MLS properties. And I get in trouble for saying that. And this is nothing against Privy. And I think Privy can actually understand that. And they'll probably back me up on it. If you're looking to wholesale MLS properties on market, go to Privy. If you're going to run a legit wholesaling business, you're not going to make most of your money doing on-market deals. All right, there might be one or two gurus that say that, but they're just trying to make money off of you. The real money in wholesaling is not on-market. Privy is a software for you to wholesale on-market deals. Don't be doing that. Just starting out. I don't think that's a game for a lot of people to be doing unless you're an agent. So you can use Privy for it, but it's not even worth mentioning for myself because that's not really the way I teach wholesaling. But hey, to each their own. I still wholesale on market, but it's a little different than that. But guys, that is how you use softwares in your wholesaling real estate business. Let me know if you have any questions about that. I think for a lot of wholesalers out here, they get really confused, right? They're like, oh my gosh, I want to use this software. And they think they got to use all of them to become successful. And honestly, you don't need to pull all these type of softwares to become successful, right? All you got to do is go out here and do the work and take the action and you become successful, right? So what I want to do right now is I'm going to answer some questions you guys have and see if I can help you all out. So if y'all want to hop on, talk to me absolutely for free one-on-one, all you got to do is go to Wholesaling Houses for Real, my free real estate wholesaling group, and I'll talk to you one-on-one and see how I can help you out today. So let's see here. Let's see. All right. Here it is. It is Wholesaling Houses for Real. That's my free real estate wholesaling group. And we're approaching 80,000 people, which is pretty cool. And all you got to do is click here. Oh, I think we're over on the challenge, right? Yeah, challenge is done. All right. So you just go here to the Ultimate Software Guide and you click join here. This is the StreamYard link. You can hop on. Look at my pretty face right there. And then you go hop on, talk to me absolutely for free. Here's the StreamYard link to hop on and talk, and I'll answer your questions, right? That's what I want to do, help the people out, and let's get it going. So if you hop on there, you can talk to me one-on-one. I'm going to answer some questions in the comments after. So let's do some one-on-ones really quick, and let's get into it. Sebastian. Yo. Bro, you're muted. Hello. Alrighty. See you, buddy. Isaiah.
Hey, Zach, how you doing?
I'm blessed, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Just getting the reps in. But I actually said it in the comments, but I have so tomorrow I'm going to a real estate meeting. There's actually two in the next 2 days. But what are some questions that I could really do to, like find cash buyers in the meetings?
Are you looking to buy any more properties for cash? If so, where?
Just basics. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a whole. Are
Okay.
you an investor?
Yeah, and then like if you had $100, I mean that's like okay, I don't want to get a job like, ever again, right? And I have $100.
Me too, man.
What should I do? Like if you were in my shoes.
What, $100?
Yeah, $100. I could either get Propstream, do some things, because I think in true people search in my market it's not working a lot. I get maybe like a 30 to El Paso. I get like a 30 to 40 response rate on it.
All right. So I'll tell you this, man. All right. So I'm looking at El Paso. If I had $100, so if you want to get started in wholesaling real estate with $100, there's only going to be two things you really should be doing. Okay. Number one, I'd probably spend that $100. Do you have a car?
Yeah, I got a car.
Okay. So I would get in my car, drive around, and look for the ugliest houses possible. Bonus tip here, if you can ask your cash buyers what areas they're looking to buy, drive in those areas. When you see an ugly house, I want you to go write down that property address. No paid softwares, none of that stuff, right? You only got $100. Use that for gas money. Now, maybe you're going to spend $2 on like 500 sticky notes right here. I'm going to go get a pen and write, hey, this is Zach. I had a quick question about your property. Please give me a call back. Stick that thing on the ugly house. And then I want you to write down that property. If you're writing from a phone, so maybe pin it or just write down the address and then try to call them if you can from there. It's still true. People search it, fast people search. And so I would reverse try for dollars and then I would cold call that list and you do it until $100 is run out in gas money. That is the fastest way to get a deal with only $100.
All right, Zach, I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I have some reverse drivings for dollars. I don't have them in sticky notes. I have them in little postcards. So I'll just stick those somewhere.
Why do you have postcards?
They were like 79 cents that were left in the store. So I was like, yeah, I took them.
79 cents for how many?
200.
Okay. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, but that's all I had. I appreciate
All right.
it, Zach.
Well, let me know if you have any other questions. Love to help you
Yeah,
out.
I'm gonna get the deal, man. I'm gonna get it.
All right.
Do
Let's
it.
get it, man. Appreciate it, dude. Boom. All right. Who we got next? We got Ace.
Hey, what's up, Zach? My only question for you, I've been like watching this whole thing, and I actually learned a lot from the free wholesaling course, and I got a contract or whatnot. But I was curious because this is actually a rural area, and the reason why I'm now realizing why you guys say kind of make sure there are more flippers there is because I've been having kind of a little bit of a hard time getting rid of this property, only because like the population size is like 5 to 6 thousand, but I didn't realize that until after I had got the thing under contract. Is there any way that you would suggest to go about finding cash buyers? I've already called the like I've looked on Zillow and kind of seen like the houses that have been flipped, and I called those people. I had a guy go over there yesterday who was a realtor. He's like, oh, he tried to lowball me. He's like, oh, well, the lowest we could do is 10,000, which is completely asinine considering the ARV is like over 120.
I mean, do you have it locked up?
Yes.
Okay. And the population is 5,000.
It's like less than 10,000. Let me look it up. I think it's around 5,000.
What's the county's population?
The county population, let me see. Henry County population. And then I just have one more question. It's
Are you on hold?
you said oh yeah, I am. I'm calling the CRM that I've been using because
Can
the
you
list
turn that down or something?
it's literally it's on speaker. I didn't know you guys could do that. But anyway, the county
I got to see a chandelier pounding my ear.
All right, let me move that here. They've been having me on hold for like 35 minutes, so I don't want to hang up. But the county population is about 200,000, 245,000.
Okay. That's decent. So
And
you already know what I'm going to say. If you're struggling to find a cash buyer or sell a deal, it's either because you locked up the property for too high or you haven't talked to enough cash buyers.
that's
And most likely you locked it up for too high. But hey, you could be wrong. Maybe you haven't talked to enough cash buyers. So go to Facebook groups, the real estate investing ones, DM as many people as you can, get proof of funds, go from there, go to the auctions. Do you have any? You probably have a bunch of local property auctions. You can go probably 50, 100 cash buyers bidding on these tax liens, stuff like that. And then from there, I would cold call the four rents. And then I don't think you should ever struggle finding cash buyers by doing that because your county's population is over 200,000.
Okay. Last thing. So I did pull some government list, like kind of mentioned in like the water shut off and things. But like the way that we script chased them was from like True People Search, just like kind of you mentioned. I had a VA do it, and like have you had anybody kind of say that most people are saying like, hey, we're not interested, or hey, we've already worked with somebody, or we've already heard these calls? Is that like kind of typically what you guys hear with these lists?
Yeah, you've been listening to too many gurus. If you think that most people say, yes, I want to sell it for cash, you're mistaken. It's going to be maybe 2 to 3% of people on the list are going to want to sell it for cash.
That makes sense.
That's it.
Okay. Well, thanks a
because
lot.
you got to remember, every person that wants to sell for cash, if you get 5 or 10 of them, that's going to be a deal.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
well, that was very insightful. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Of course. Do you have any other questions? Oh. All right. Well, bye. Chevelle.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. What's up? How can I help you out?
Okay. Yeah, I'm whispering because I don't want to wake up my babies.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so two things. I already spoke with your dad about the property that me and you talked about. The guy who wanted the proof of funds. Well, long story short, I wasn't able to get a cash buyer for that property, and things went downhill. The guy yelled at me. Your dad told me to find someone in the group, the wholesaling for real group, to just give the deal to and see if they are willing to like give me a fee. And of course, like the guy wants nothing to do with me at all. So it would have to be like, they just give it to me like off the books if that's what they wanted to do. I messaged a few people, but they haven't wrote me back. And I think it's because my messages are going to the other folder.
What market?
It's in this one is in Ohio.
Where in Ohio?
Marion.
Okay, post in the Ohio real estate investing groups. Looking at JV on this deal or something like that. It's gonna be the
But
best way.
Okay, I won't be able to actually JV on the deal. You know what I mean? Like, cause the guy he was so angry with me that he's like, I will never do business with you going forward.
Okay, I would still go there and look for,
Mhm.
hey, any wholesalers in the Marion area, and then try to vet the best one and see if you can find one you can trust. It's gonna be hard too, but
Mhm.
I think that's what you're gonna have to do, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay, and then the second thing is, I have a property under contract in Tennessee, and I'm looking for cash buyers, and I've been running into a lot of strange people so far. Um, who they're either a wholesaler that's pretending to be a cash buyer, or they say that they're a cash buyer but they only have financing. People have ghosted me when I'm asking for the proof of funds. So I guess my question is, how exactly should I ask for the proof of funds? Because I've did it a couple of different ways, and I don't know if how I'm doing it is coming off like wrong, or maybe too full what's it too straightforward or something. I don't know, but how do I go about asking for it?
Yeah. Can I get a proof of funds, please?
Oh my
It's
god.
pretty much. I really like. I think you understand it because you've seen enough of my content. I just keep it straightforward because
Yeah.
I like it when people are straight with me in business and I'm straight with them.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of gurus do this where they say something but it has an ulterior motive, and they say this because they want this, and it's like all this condescending like high school stupid little drama thing. I'm just straight to the point. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm looking to buy your house. Like, I don't do. We're a cash buyer investing hedge fund solution. I just straight to the point. People
Right.
really like that, and I think that's the best way to do business.
Okay. I mean, I've been straightforward, and like, I need a proof of funds that you have the money in the bank to buy properties, and people are like, hey, well, you're asking me that before you even show me anything, and I explain
Yeah, because
why
they don't have
I'm
the
doing
money.
that. Okay.
Here's the thing: you're being
Hmm.
straight with them,
Yeah.
and they don't have the money, so they're trying to curve around that. They're like,
That's
"Can you
what
give
I.
me the deal so I can steal it from you because I got no money?"
Mm,
People with money don't care. Okay, you ask me for proof of funds, I'll send you a proof of funds.
okay.
All right, I'll give you a bank account. I got like $500,000, and I'll just screenshot that for you on a random LLC I'll buy rentals on. Right, like I'll just do that. Okay, I could care less.
Hmm.
Takes me 5 seconds. Make sure you trust me. Boom. That's it.
Yeah.
People who have money aren't scared to show you a proof of funds. The people that are not, they're scared to do it.
Okay. So,
People have
okay.
egos too. They want to act
Yeah.
like they're big shots, and then when it comes to actually showing up that they even have at least some money in their bank account, they're scared. That's why gurus don't like proof of funds either. I'm a cash buyer. I'll give anyone proof of funds if they need it, but like, guys and their egos. They want to puff their chest out, and they got no money. They're gonna be scared to show it to you.
Okay. So, I'll continue to just do what I'm doing, because it sounds like you're saying I'm doing the right thing, how I'm going about it. So I'll keep doing that. And you also mentioned finding the cash sales on Propstream. Do you suggest that I do that as well? I mean, I haven't I'm just starting out with this. So
Um, if you have exhausted all the Facebook groups and the for rents and the auctions, then sure.
okay. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna I'm gonna keep, doing what I'm doing. And yeah, I'll get back to you. I'll update you and things like that.
All right. Appreciate it. Keep it up.
All right, thanks, Zach. Bye.
Thanks. All right. Emery.
Zach, you.
How are you?
Uh-oh, you froze up. Should I turn my video off?
You
I'm good.
froze
I'm
up,
good.
not me.
I think. Well, we'll see.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
What is up?
All
How
right.
are you? How
Good,
can I help you out today?
Well, I'd mentioned about calling from Hungary. Then you guys said the voice, Google Voice, and then get a VPN. So I did that, and then Google Voice said I need a US number to use Google Voice. And then I went to Skype to get a US number, and I was still on a VPN, and they had a problem completing my order. And then I came back the next day without the VPN, and I did the order. And then they locked my account for some reason. And so, do you know of any other alternatives, a cheap way to call the US? Because I looked at a number of places, and they're rather expensive.
Yeah, it's not the cheapest in the world. Let me look here. Who is your cellular company you're using?
Telecom.
Telecom. All right. Telecom. Free. Yes. All right. I would try probably call rail number. That's gonna be my best bet if you're gonna try to do that.
Call. Oh, what?
Number or call rail?
How do you spell that?
VUMBER.
Can you put that in? Some
Yeah, hold on.
VU.
It's number with a V.
Oh, okay. Just like it sounded. Vumber.
Yeah, I'd probably just use that, honestly.
All right. I will try that.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna do that. If I'm trying to think here on the. So is the Skype not working with the VPN?
Yes, they have no customer service. My account is locked. They sent me an email, for me to request that it be opened up. But it's been a few days. That's all I know.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna try that again. You can try WhatsApp too, as a phone number too. There's a text free. Someone's in the comments.
WhatsApp,
you got
WhatsApp also, or what?
Try WhatsApp for the phone number too. So that might go through too.
Oh,
there's a will, there's a way,
right.
Emery.
WhatsApp. Yeah, what's what I figured.
Yeah, try it out. Because I know I most of the VAs.
That was my question for the day.
Yeah, I mean, if they can do it for Philippines, they can do it from here. So keep it up.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Okay. All right, I appreciate it.
Skype, WhatsApp,
Thanks.
just keep looking from there. So, all right.
All right.
Any other questions?
Talk soon.
All right. How you going?
No other questions right now.
All right. Yeah, so there's a lot of them, right? If you got to get a little creative when you're international, right? We got a lot of Swedish people, right? We got a lot of people from Slovenia. Got a lot of people from, I'm sure trying to think of other Europe. A lot of people in England too. VPN is probably gonna be your best way, but it's kind of strange with the WhatsApp to call people. So I'd use the WhatsApp to mask it. Someone says Ring Central. There's a million of them out here, but yeah. Migs.
Hey Zach, good morning, dude. How are you?
Morning. How are you?
Really good, man. How about you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. This is my first time joining your live in StreamYard too, man. But I've been watching your videos like for the last month or two.
All right. Took it long enough to hop on here. What's up? How can I help you out?
Yeah, so I just sent your contract to the title company, and they told me that it's good, it's perfect. The only thing that it doesn't have is who's gonna pay for closing costs, and I forget the other one, but it didn't indicate who's paying for the closing costs and transfer tax, I think.
Okay.
So do I need to add a line for that, or is there
Yeah,
a
just
line?
add a line on there. What state are you in?
I'm in California. I'm in San
Oh.
Francisco, but I'm doing my business in the surrounding county, like up north.
Okay, I would just add a line on there. Whatever line they want to put for the buyer to pay for the closing costs, you're good to go.
Okay, and then for the closing costs, they're mentioning a lot about like who's gonna pay for the like the set amount for title and escrow fees based on the
Buyer,
purchase price, depending on if the end buyer
cash
would like.
buyer, and buyer's
Okay,
going to pay for it.
so it's always
Don't worry
like
about
a good measurement for like closing costs is like 1 to 2% usually for a transaction. Is that a
it.
good
Yeah,
number?
I'll say so. Always depends, but yeah.
Got it. And the last one I'm planning to target high equity. What's their main motivation with the market right now? I mean, the houses prices are falling. So, what would be a great motivation when talking to these people that I would
People
expect?
think we're in like a 2008 stock market crash where everything's down 30% in 2 days. Like, it's down like 2% a month. So it's like it's not falling, but like it's human beings, right? So anyone who just wants to sell a property that's ugly, financial distress, property distress, right? Just regular old things, right? Not being able to afford things, right? Money issues, just normal stuff why people want to sell a property.
Okay. And I'm a one man show. I haven't tried Mojo Dialer yet, but when I'm pulling my list, it's about 1,600. Is that a good way to start when it comes to high equity? To cold
1,600
call?
leads.
Yeah, is that a lot or?
What counties?
My county is Contra Costa County, just one county.
I think 1,600 is fine. I'd probably do government lists in my opinion, but 1,600 is good. I'd probably bump that up a little more if I'm trying to get some more deals. But if you're doing hand dialing, then sure, I think that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just about to get my first deal. I haven't done any deal yet, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be a bad thing.
okay,
So I think that's in the right direction.
sounds good. It's unbelievable I was able to join. I thought it's gonna be a long line, but thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
Of course, man. Keep it up.
Thank you. Have a good one. Dude.
Whoa, I got bumped off for a second. All right, we're fine. All right, back on. Don.
Yeah, hey Zach, can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear. What is up?
Hey, how's it going, man?
I'm blessed. How can I help you out today?
Yeah, man. I actually had a question. So I have a property that's under contract right now. It is in title. They're doing a title search on it. My main question is, the way that this title company works is, they won't start the process of the transaction.
Oh. So we're having some buffering issues here. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
There we go.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had an incoming call.
Okay.
Yeah, so the main question I have is, I have the title company that I work with. I already have it under contract. It's scheduled to close here in the next 2 weeks. But the title company that I work with is they won't start the process unless if I have the PSA, which is a purchase and sale agreement, and then I have a end buyer that's all ready to go, which I'm more comfortable with that. But my thing is, if I do have a property and I do have other buyers that are interested, how can I go about them not, going under and maybe sweeping like a
Get another
future
title
deal?
company.
Another
Title company.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, dude, I have very hard lines. If you need an end buyer and the purchase, that's not how you should do it. So no.
Okay. Yeah, because the buyer I got now, he's pretty we got a pretty good partnership. But with other partners, I just don't want to, put something under agreement and then I go ahead and do that, and the deal's not, the deal can be possibly swept under, from that. from that process. So
Yeah, honestly, man, I can tell you straight up, get another title company.
okay. And then also another thing, I didn't check into Podio or whatever it is, the Podio, whatever you have.
Mm-hmm.
What is a good setup that I can use to maybe categorize like all my buyers and like kind of what their criteria
Bro,
is?
go to freeholstein.com. It's all in there.
Okay.
That's why I tell everyone to go to freeholstein.com.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I had for you, Zach, today. I appreciate you letting me just get on this live and answer my question, man.
Appreciate talking to you. Have a good one, man.
You as well, man. Thanks.
Boom. All right. Love it. Justin.
What's going on, man?
What's up? How are you?
Doing good, and yourself?
Life's amazing, man. How can I help you out?
So do you remember when we spoke last time? I lived here in Providence. I don't know if you remember. You helped me look it up online. So 2 days after I spoke to you, got my first house under contract. And you know, I'm damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm having trouble finding a cash buyer. And the guy's getting antsy. He's like, he wants this sold like now. Cause I guess he has like another buyer that's offering him more.
Okay.
So like I've been on Facebook looking for buyers, but I keep getting like, I wouldn't call them scammers, but they keep like DMing me and like they're not an actual cash buyer. I guess they work with a cash buyer, but they're not really serious. I'm going to purchase Propstream like right after I get off this live. Hopefully that can help me. I called a couple title companies and asked for a list of cash buyers, but apparently they don't do that.
They don't do that because they can't make money off of you, man. You got to use the title company you're using. And you got to go in person.
Even the title company I'm using.
Did you go in person?
No, the property I have under contracts in Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay. I mean, dude, Kansas City, Missouri should be really easy on Facebook, man. Like really easy. What are you doing wrong?
I don't know. Like, let me see. So I go on Facebook. I post a couple groups.
Okay,
I don't post
been going in them.
Like joining them.
Have you been DMing?
DMing. Yes, I DM.
How many DMs did you do yesterday?
Let me get my phone.
Be honest with me.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you because I need to close this deal.
How many DMs?
Opening up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
How many replies?
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it.
Okay. That's not bad. Have you been cold calling the 4 rents?
I tried it. I gave it a try. I should do more of that.
What was the try to you?
I did an hour or two of just calling the 4 rents, asking if they're interested in buying a property.
And what happened?
To be honest, I got no answer. It's a bunch of like realtors in that area.
So you tell me you gave up?
Well, I didn't give up. I just tried 2 hours of it, and this was like 2
And then you gave up.
I guess.
So just don't say you try, like you gave up, and that's the truth. So there's a bunch of things you can go out here. I can tell you probably should be doing at least 40 DMs a day.
Okay.
If you really want to get into it. If you're doing 10 a day, that's okay. But you got to pump these numbers up. Like, are you in this group at all? The Kansas City Real Estate Invest?
Yep.
So, like, I mean, I can go off of pretty easy. 1, 2.
I
3,
haven't. I'll be honest. I haven't did emails. I haven't did the emails.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Those are 20 you can just do in the first 15 seconds of me in this group. So you got to be pumping up these numbers, bro.
Got you.
So yeah, I just don't think the volume's there. And remember what I always say about if you can't sell a deal, either you locked it up for too high or you haven't talked to enough buyers. And I think you need to pump up your volume of cash buyer polling. You can do Propstream, dude. Like, that's great. But like, don't act like you have to get Propstream because nothing else is working. Okay. Like, have you actually gotten any feedback from any cash buyer on this deal?
I got feedback, not from one cash buyer. He sent me his proof of funds, but I was talking to him and he told me that I listed the house for too much. I don't think that's the case, but
okay.
Maybe.
Why did he think that?
So, all right, let me go back to the messages. So he was looking at like comps in the area, and he says that the most he'd buy it for is like 80,000, and I was asking for like 90.
Okay.
There was a couple of questions he asked me, like about the property. The house needs very minor work, but I feel like he was trying to finagle me because he was like, "Oh, you need this done, that done." I'm like,
maybe he's trying to finagle you, or maybe he's actually saying the truth, dude. You're only off 10K. So either he's wrong or you're wrong. So why don't you talk to some more cash buyers and figure out if if you talk to 7 cash buyers and they're all at 80, then you're wrong. Maybe he's the one that's wrong. I've had it all the time. You need to pump your numbers up, man, and then see if you're wrong or he's wrong.
Got it. Okay.
But honestly, bro, I'm just being honest, Justin. You've only talked to one cash buyer about the deal. So there's no way of knowing if you have a deal or not. You're going to have to pump those numbers up, dude. You probably have to talk to 10 this weekend. And I think, dude, if you DM more people and then you start calling more of these people, I think you'll be fine, dude. I'm just being honest. I'd call realtors on top of that too, on cash sales, on realtor.com. You got to keep popping it up. In the 2 hours you called the 4 rents, how many phone calls did you do?
Oh, I did quite a few. Yeah, I called like pretty much like every single like house on like it's in Kansas City, Missouri. So
Text
every
them?
single 4 rents. I did not.
I would probably text on top of that too.
Got it. Okay.
Dude, you got to do everything in your power. Kansas City is such a big market. It's not that I'm saying that like it's such a big market. There's a lot of cash buyers out there, man. Now, it's not the easiest in the world, right? But like, they're still there, man.
Got you. Okay. Perfect. And I wanted to buy Propstream. And I wanted to start officially doing driving for dollars. I just been doing the whole Zillow for sale by owners, just grinding it out on that. So how do I like get started for driving for dollars, like on that?
Well, I mean, what, locally to you in Rhode Island?
Yeah.
I would just get in my car, look for ugly houses around me, right? That's pretty much it. I'll talk to cash buyers, which I think is something you're struggling with. I
want to go to the auctions. Is that useful?
Yeah, those are great. Talk to cash buyers. What area should I buy? I like this zip code, this zip code, this zip code, and then drive for dollars there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Best one, man.
Sir, alrighty. What else? Another question. Oh yeah, so I might want to JV this deal with you, and I was submitting the form, and it would not let me submit. Like
maybe it didn't hit a criteria. One thing I can tell you on this, man, is talk to some cash buyers, dude, because we can underwrite it. But I have a question. Are you JVing it to JV it with us, or are you JVing it because no other cash buyer is willing to buy it?
Well, I wanted to like, because the guy's getting kind of antsy. Like, he wants to like get this.
Email the deal to support@flipwithwork.com.
Okay. I'll send it over.
But I'm just telling you, man, if we're running the comps and it's not a deal, we're not going to kind of take it. Okay. So,
well, it's kind of good that you guys like tell me what's going on, because
we'll talk to cash buyers and see what's going on. That's the only way we're going to figure it out.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, like, I don't know if it's a deal or not. It could be the best deal ever. We just got to talk to cash buyers.
Makes sense. Okay. I'll try it out. So more cash buyers. I'll still email your support group or email. Where can I find that?
Support@flipwithwork.com.
All right, that's pretty easy. All righty, thank you, man.
And one last thing, get a battery for your dang
Alarm. Yeah, I get that a lot.
you get that because the last time it was like that, dude.
Yeah, I
Like
should
it
do that.
doesn't sound good with your cash buyers and talking to sellers on the phone, bro.
I think I'm like used to it. Like
That's cool that you're used to it, but
everyone
it
else
doesn't
is.
sound professional, man.
You're right.
Okay.
Got it. Thank you so much, man.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah. Don't. That thing's super annoying. All right. And I know that guy's used to it, but it's mentally drives me insane. Luigi,
What's up, my brother?
how are you?
I'm doing all right. You know,
Blessed, man. Every day above ground's an amazing day.
here's not really that good of a day. It's been raining all day. It's shitty. Oh,
Hey,
my
did
fault.
you wake up and are you alive?
I am alive. I'm grateful.
Are your family healthy?
Yes,
Would you be more sad if your family is not healthy right now?
100%.
Would you look back into today knowing that, dang, this was a great day because my family's healthy and great versus, one day it might not be like that? That's when a truly terrible day is going to be. Look at everything in perspective, man. You're young. All right.
Good point.
You at 90 years old right now would give everything you possibly could have, even if you were a trillionaire, to get to the age you were at right now. Everything. And you'd be the happiest person in the world. So just remember that, man. You're alive. There's a lot of people your age right now, my age, that can't say that right now. So it's a great day, bro.
True. Yeah, it's an amazing day then.
It is, dude.
Okay, so I just want to update you a little bit on what I got going on. Last time I spoke to you, I told you that I had a really big list of code violations. And you told me to call all the open cases. Unfortunately, like I called a bunch of them and I realized that there was no open cases. So I really just had a list of people who already fixed their problem. And it was like, I don't know, like 1,000 of them. So I was just with a big list for nothing. So I called a couple of them. Obviously, some of them didn't answer. Some of them told me that they weren't looking to sell. So I just kind of let that slide and try to find a new thing to do. Oh, by the way, I'm in Boston. I'm in the Massachusetts market, and I'm trying to wholesale in Worcester, which is like an hour drive away from here. I actually went to Worcester. I drove out there, did some reverse driving for dollars. I left a couple stick notes on some houses, and obviously I didn't get any responses yet. I looked at some houses, but unfortunately when I got there, it got really dark, so I couldn't really see anything. And I just ended up just driving home. So right now I sent in a request for tax delinquent properties, and while I'm waiting for that, I don't want to waste any time. So I had bought a list from Fiverr, which I know you don't like that idea, but I'm just thinking, like, while I'm waiting for this list to come through, to just cold call some Fiverr lists that I bought before, and I just kind of want to hear what you have to say, to be honest.
I mean, Luigi, you're smarter than me. So go out here and get some deals from that list. Let me know. Prove me wrong.
I'm willing to try it, because at the end of the day, I just spent $20 on it, so I'm like, might as well try and give it a call. But I kind of wanted to see what you have to say, because
I would love to have your story about you're the first guy to go do off a $20 list.
Shit, I hope so. What I just want to hear, like, what do you think is the best, like, not marketing method, like the best list I could go after in the Worcester area, if you know?
How many reverse drawing for dollar sticky notes did you put out?
I put 10.
You put 10 out.
Yeah, and those were the ones that I already had on the list. So while I was driving, I was looking for other houses and I couldn't find anything.
Bro, you did 10 bicep curls and say, why am I not jacked? All right. You know how to get jacked. You got to do it every single day.
Right.
10 a day is not bad every single day, but maybe 40 a day every single day. 100 a week, right? Like, Dude, you got to pump those numbers up, bro. Those are rookie numbers. All right, you got to pump them up. And how serious you are about this business is going to indicate how much marketing you're going to do. So you try to buy the $20 list thinking it's going to be the cure all for everything. It's not. You're getting a regurgitated list that they stole from another guy before they got fired from their guru guy about a year ago, and you're going to try to do that list. That's fine. That might work, but I tell you, is most Fiverr guys, there's a reason why nobody goes out here telling you that Fiverr works. Even the gurus don't even say it because it doesn't even work for them.
Right.
It doesn't work for anybody. But hey, prove me wrong. You already know what I'm going to say, man. What's the best list? Worcester, code violations. You say there's no open code violations in Worcester?
There, like in the big list I got, there were no open cases.
So you got to ask them about that. Should you tell me if I don't mow my grass, there's no code violations at all that'll ever be open? They shut down the department. They're making a bunch of money, bro. Okay, they're there. They're just hiding it from you. You got to work hard to get it.
So I should call them about it, because I sent another request saying I want the open cases, and they sent me the same list.
Luigi, how bad do you want this? Like, let me just be honest. How bad do you actually want to get a deal, dude?
I don't know.
Because if you're mentally telling yourself that, I already called, whatever. Somebody else in Worcester, which is a lot of people there, are going to say, you know what? I want this more than Luigi. I'm actually going to keep calling this person every single day till I get that list. That's the person that's going to win. The person that put 10 drawing for dollars leads out and says, I did enough, versus the person that says, I need a deal this month. They're going to put out 100 this week. It's who wants it more, man. Do you want it? That's my question for you.
Yeah.
Do you? Well, prove it.
All right. Okay. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say, honestly. Just
code violations, probates, water shut-offs. List can go on forever, man.
I got you. Just it was gonna turn out for me to say that, like, I just wanted something to work on right now instead of having to drive all the way over there, because I would do that. If
code violations,
I would drive for dollar like all day long. Unfortunately, like, I live really far, and I would want to go there, but I'm saying, like, right now I want to do something right now, because if I'm gonna go drive for dollar,
homie. Hold the probates. Pull the probates. If you want to do something right now, pull the probates.
Okay. All right, pull probates. All right. Okay, so then maybe one question. I actually wrote it on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it. I said, like, if when I write the sticky note, should I put my personal or Google Voice number?
Google Voice.
Why is that?
Because it's good to separate business from your personal. Your voicemail for a business is going to sound more professional than your voicemail for your own. Do you have a voicemail for your personal cell?
No, but I have a Google.
All right. What's more professional?
Okay.
Wow, this Luigi guy is actually legit about buying houses. Okay.
Okay, that's fair. And if I'm cold calling a list, also use Google Voice, or I can use my phone number?
I'd use Google Voice so you can track the data and record them. Unless your personal cell records the phone numbers and the calls, but I don't think it probably does. So.
You mean like it records like the whole phone call?
Yeah, try to record it on Google Voice if you can. I gotta see if you can get a premium on that, but
Okay. All right. I just figured to ask that because on when I call on my regular phone, it's actually faster than doing Google Voice, so I can get through more numbers quicker. But if Google Voice is just a better, more professional option, I just stick with that.
You got to remember, dude, if you keep cold calling on your personal cell, then it's going to be a spam likely, and you can't change you're not going to change your personal cell, but you can change your Google Voice number pretty fast.
Good point. I didn't think of that. Okay. All right. Well, I don't really got anything else. I appreciate you, man, for everything you said.
Bro, prove it to yourself how bad you want it. Okay? And that's going to show you.
All right.
All right, man. Get to work, man. So
Have
what are you going to do? What are you going to do when you get home?
I'm home right now. I'm gonna try to get through the whole list I already bought, and then I'm gonna try to pull probates. And then sometime this week, I'm probably just gonna try to drive all the way out there and just spend all day there and just try to reverse that for dollars.
Okay, you don't get home till you put 100 sticky notes out.
Oh shit, deal. $100, 100 sticky notes. Okay.
You don't go home. Okay, you sleep in the car until you put it out. Okay.
All right.
So that means you don't go there at 4 o'clock and the sun goes down at 5. Okay, like
Right.
you drive there. You don't go home till you put 100 out.
So I'm probably gonna just drive out there at like 7 a.m. when the sun goes up.
Whatever you want, man. But you sleep in your car if you can't do it. Okay, it's gonna be cold. So
Yeah.
think about that for a second. Okay.
It's cold as hell out here too. All right.
All right.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
I'll keep you updated on it though, for sure.
Okay. Don't go home until you do 100. Have a good one.
Deal. Peace.
Peace. Guys, it's all about the mind. The mind is the greatest tool we have. And if you can shift your mindset into these things, your life's going to change. Matthew.
Yo, what's up, Zach? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
I'm great, man. How can I help you out today?
Yeah, man, I just have a few questions. I don't remember if you remember talking to you last week, but I said I just got started and doing it and pulling some lists. Well, a few days after I talked to you, this lady called me and was like, hey, I might be interested in selling. But she said she needed some time to think about it. So then, I said, okay. So she said, I got a follow-up call with her in about a month. Yesterday, another lady I was calling the co-violation list. And she said that her mom might be interested in selling her house, but that she just needs some time to think about it. And I know what you were thinking is like it's an emotional thing selling these houses. But what I'm trying to get to is that I need to find some cash buyers for that property once if I get it under contract. And I know you were talking about the Zillow, calling the renters on there, the landlords on there. Do you know any other way that I could get some cash buyers besides just that, going off that list on Zillow?
Bro, have you been watching this video today?
No, I just got on not too long ago, and I just hopped straight on trying to get on with you.
Okay, cool. Have you gone to freewholesaling.com?
I've been there. Yeah, I spent a lot of time
Have you been
there.
on were you ever on the 30-day wholesaling challenge?
It's the part of the 30-day one?
Yeah, on the bottom in freewholesaling.com.
No, I haven't did that one.
I would probably do that because I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell everyone. Everyone rolls their eyes when I say it. It's the same exact thing. There's 3 ways to find cash buyers if you got no money, okay? Number 1, Zillow for rents, right? Like I've said before. Not bad.
Right.
Number 2 is auctions.
Right.
Number 3 is Facebook groups.
Okay.
You can even do realtors on top of that, but like stick to those and you'll be fine.
Okay. Okay, man. Another thing is, on this property that these ladies that I went by there and looked at it, she said it was okay for me to pass by if I needed to. But when I came home and tried to look at some comps for it, there were no similar comps for the past 3 months. So I extended it to 6 months, and still there's very few. There's probably 2, and they're not even, I guess as you would say, apple to apple comparison. So how would I kind of get around that?
What's the county's population?
It's Fort Bend County, so I'm not too sure on what the county population is.
Fort Bend County?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's weird. Do you know how much they'll rent for?
No.
No idea.
No idea. Not
Go to
yet.
rentometer.com and put the information in there and figure that out and then divide it by 1%.
So go Rentometer and then figure out what
Rentometer, then put all the information you have on the house and figure it out. Do you know the tax assessed value on the property is?
No.
Figure that out too.
Tax assessed value and what it would rent for. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing. So I tried to get the foreclosures, but when I went to the they said they don't have that. Now I've been told that they don't have stuff before, but when you give them a little push, you can eventually get it. But
the pre-foreclosure list?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Bro, you gotta go to freewholesaling.com, man. Because at freewholesaling.com, it's not, you don't just ask somebody for it. You go to the notice of defaults or the list pendants.
Okay, notice of defaults of the list pendants. Gotcha.
Yeah, I go through freewholesaling.com.
Okay, and that's pretty much gonna answer my questions that I had, man. Just real quick. One more thing. Do you have anything else that you would suggest me to do just so I could, I guess, go to the next
Actually, yeah,
level?
I have a big one.
What's that?
Put a battery in your smoke detector, bro. Okay, write that down.
I heard you tell the other guy that too, man.
You're gonna write that down.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
definitely
write
what I
it right
recommend.
here.
Very recommended.
Find a battery.
Yes.
All right, man. Appreciate it, man. I'm looking forward to get back on here
Go
and
to
talk.
Wholesaling.com, bro. That's what I'd say.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good one. Oh my gosh. Put your dang batteries in the smoke detector. Your cash buyers don't like that. Your sellers don't like that. And I don't like that. It's a lose-lose for everybody. Hello.
Hey, Zach.
How are you?
Can you hear me?
Long clear. What is up?
I'm
How can I
good.
help you out? Long clear. What is up? How can I help you out?
Okay, first of all,
You have
I
YouTube on. Can you
want to thank you.
YouTube on. Can you take that off? Take that off.
Okay.
There we go. It was giving an echo. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Is it good now?
All right. Cool. All right. Cool.
All right.
All
So
right, you still have
first
your
of all,
you still have it
I
on,
kind
bro.
of.
You still have it on, bro. Tosin, you still have it
Oh
on.
man.
Tosin, you still have it on.
Okay, I'll join you back. Let me join you. Let me get off and join you later.
Okay. Sad.
Hey Zach, how are you?
Don't throw the kitty away.
He was
Kitty on.
taking some kisses and
Awesome, man. What's up? How can I help you out?
So I am working with the seller, and I believe she lives alone. Her parents passed away, and her brother kind of fled the scene. They both own the property, part owners, and she has no way of contacting her brother. I've tried True People Search. I've looked through the relatives that she may be related to. I mean, the only two people are her parents, and they both passed away. I'm thinking about maybe speaking to the neighbors, but I'm like thinking that might kind of backfire at me, and I'm just not sure what to do.
So give me the full situation. All right. So lady lives by herself, and what's the situation with the brother?
She doesn't know. He has lost contact with. She has lost contact with her brothers since her dad passed away, which was in 2000, and they've had minimal contact. Doesn't know where he is. Has really no way of contacting him. He is part owner of the property, so she can't sell without him. And she needs about 90 days to sell this property. And the condition of the property is bad. When I was driving around, I saw the garage door was pretty damaged, so I just randomly decided to put a sticky note on the door. And then she ended up calling me back. She is old, so she's just talking to her is kind of frustrating to talk to her. She's slow. That's pretty much it. I don't know.
So you're telling me she hasn't talked to him in 22 years?
Essentially, that's what she's telling me.
So let me ask you one question. This is not a morbid fact, but I've seen a lot. Do you know for a fact this person did not die?
I do not know, and it doesn't sound like she doesn't know either.
So first of all, that's weird. It's very unusual, and you know that. Have you looked up this person up online and see if there's an obituary or anything like that?
I did not. I mean, I've been looking for it, but it's like, it's like somebody's was facing like construction fraud. There was a doctor under this name, but it doesn't sound like.
Look up the name and then look up the state that you're in. Usually people that do that, they still stay in the state. Then look for voter records on there. What state is this in?
New York, in Albany.
Yeah. Ooh. Those upstate New York people are weird. Okay. Yeah. What I can tell you is you have no idea if they're alive or not. And so you're probably going to have to deal with your closing attorney and ask them. And honestly, you're just going to have to assume the guy died. I'm just telling you, you're going to have to assume the guy died. If you have no way of contacting this person.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like it's that's actually kind of ridiculous. We're gonna play a hardball here. If he doesn't want to contact us, he's not gonna get. He has then he has to contact us for the other half of the money.
Okay, so I could still proceed forward. I just have to
I would
speak to my
proceed
attorney.
forward. If he wants to be like this, have an attorney help you out with this. But if this
Okay.
guy's making no contact with it, he doesn't deserve the money. Now, legally, he does to a point, but you can put that money in an escrow form waiting. If
Mhm.
he's incapacitated, if you don't even know he's alive, I would move forward with it.
Yeah,
And have the
she
attorney
has
help
no
you out.
idea.
Because it's not fair that he's going to stop this transaction being sold. It actually needs to be sold. So
Okay.
he hasn't. He obviously probably hasn't paid the taxes in 22 years himself, right? She has.
Yeah, she's been
So
doing it.
I think she's probably entitled to half the taxes for the last 22 years.
Okay.
So I think with an attorney, I think you're going to be fine. Remember, Sad, you know this. You get paid in proportion to the problems you solve. And this seems like
Yeah.
a massive problem.
It is. It seems like a massive problem
And
because it's an
should
area
probably
where
go
cash
ahead.
buyers are hopping for. Like they want this type of
Dude.
property in this area.
Guess what? You get paid on the problems you solve. And this is a big problem. You're going to get paid very well. So you know what to
Yeah.
do, man. Just
Okay.
remember, I'm not a lawyer, but if she's paid for a lot of money, like I think it's going to be good. So
Okay.
talk to the closing attorney. This is not the only case this has ever happened.
Mhm.
And you'll be fine. If he's alive, he might come out of the woodworks to finally get his money though. And that it's always a funny one. It's all
That's for
dramatic,
sure.
but
Okay.
usually if the attorney tries their best in the title company, you should not have a guilty conscience on it.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. The other question I have, so I've been speaking to Fizbo's, but there were only a few that were over 100 days old. Should I adjust the filters a bit? How? Or should I just forego that?
Government
area?
lists and probates.
Sorry?
Government lists and probates.
Yeah, so I just put in a FOIL request for probates. I've been putting sticky notes on tax delinquencies. Well, first I would call them, and if I can't find the number, then I would just go ahead and just put a sticky note on the door and just did 20 in 3 hours. So I've been doing this for like a month, and for the first like month I did 10. It took me like 10 hours in the entire day, and now I do 20 in like 3 hours because I've using an app for route optimization. That is a trick. That is a trick to do it.
Yeah.
So
I would honestly, right now, you probably have a month or two for drying for. I would dry for dollars hard right now because you're probably not going to be able to in maybe a couple months if you're in Albany right now.
Yeah.
So I would probably dry for
the
dollars
roads get
now.
bad.
Dry for dollars now, why it's safer to do,
Yeah.
and then from there you can you can do all those lists after.
Okay.
That'd be my best
All right.
advice.
Sounds good.
Just in general.
Yeah. Okay. The other question is, so I got yelled at by a neighbor for going door to door, and for some reason he was getting suspicious. I mean, I was partly looking for a house I was specifically trying to target, and I couldn't find it. I ended up just foregoing that specific property, and then he was like, "What are you doing? Why are you here?" and things like that. And I was like, should I just accept it? Or he was getting suspicious that I didn't have a card on me and things like that.
Like, dude, people are just crazy. You know that. People love looking at somebody and just judging them and think they're, oh, you're a criminal. He's a criminal. He's going out here looking at houses. It's ridiculous. Hey, I work with my partner. We're looking to buy some more houses, usually rental properties or fix and flips.
Yeah.
We really like this area. That's why I'm here.
Okay.
Like,
all right, sounds good. I mean,
I'm so angry at you for trying to improve property values near me. Right? Like, no one can't get mad. If you're a homeowner, you really can't get mad over that.
Yeah. I mean, at the flip side, the neighbors know a lot. They can really direct you. And one of the neighbors actually thanked me. It was like, "You're doing a good work for the community." I'm like, "Thank you."
Like, for a homeowner, you actually increase property values because those ugly houses just make them, because it's a bad comp for them. And people only care about their home values. So, yeah, you're doing good, man. Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right.
People might look at you and be like, oh, what is he doing? If you just explain it, like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
They'll actually like that. So, yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Have a good one. All right. Good job, man. Rebecca.
Hey, Zach. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. So I talked to you. It's been a little bit. I had quite a bit of things come up, but I did call through Google Voice 100 on the list that I had prior, and I think I just had a bad batch of numbers because I was getting voicemails, and so I scrapped all the stuff I had, and I'm pulling new lists, and I'm starting from scratch because I'm like, there's a reason for something going on. I do have 2 leads I've been talking to from Zillow. One is an estate, and it's going to be a complete like rehab pretty much. And another, I talked to the lady. She seemed really motivated, and then I had somebody go and take pictures, and she doesn't seem very motivated anymore. So I'm going to work on her and try to condition her again, see what's going on, what changed between the couple days that we had talked. So really just getting on just to let you know, thanks for giving me the advice to actually manually dial instead of do batch dialer because I had some bad data.
Yeah. The manual thing will help you out a lot more, figuring it out pretty fast.
Yeah.
Using major dialer, it's a little harder to figure that out.
Yeah, it was discouraging, but that's okay. I'm not going to give up. So I got to get these deals.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna go on Propstream and pull some new data since my stuff is pretty old.
Okay.
So I'm gonna focus on maybe some vacants and some pre-probate stuff. Anything that you would recommend mostly right now, going into the new year?
What you're doing now,
Yeah.
I think the tax delinquency is probably gonna be the best one. And are you still doing Harris County?
I was going to go back to Houston since I had such bad luck, but because of data, I'm going to go back there, and I'm also working in Iowa.
Okay. So Harris County property taxes are due January 31st, which is going to be awesome for you. Because people after February 1st won't be able to pay it. And then Iowa's all over the board. Iowa is December 31st. No, wait, that's income. Let's see property taxes. They're due September 30th. So perfect. So
they were just there. Yeah. All right. Well, that's the list I'll pull. I'll do tax delinquency and work on that.
All right. Beautiful.
All right. Thanks so much, Zach.
Appreciate it. Keep it up.
Bye.
Boom, boom, boom. All right. Let's see what questions we got here. Kit Kat says, do you have a software for comping and calculating your EMD? EMD should be $100. Like that's it. Unless you want to pump it up a little more, but like just do $100. No one's really going to care. Kit Kat says, people are being rude. They want me to pay $200. What specific list? Okay. If I know that, it's going to be a lot easier. What do you think about batch driven? I've used it for 6 months and all the data was old. I haven't used batch driven doesn't have old data. You have to drive for dollars for that list. Also, batch driven is now into zachdata.com. So that's the free app in there now with it. Ogle says, yeah, I got by a guru who says MLS deals are the easiest. He got my $5,000 and kept it moving. Yeah. Guys, these gurus just want your money. Always. All right. They're like, oh, MLS wholesaling is the newest thing in the world. It's the greatest. Gurus love to try to find something new and say, this is the massive secrets that are going to help everything out. That's the massive secrets that are going to work. Guys, all you have to do is do this thing with your eyes and then spin a couple times and you're going to get a 6-pack abs. People try to sell you the easy solution to everything. Everything. Every guru tries that because it gets some sales. MLS wholesaling was the newest fad. There's other ones out here. I see it happen all the time, right? These gurus all hang together and do events. I purchased a guru program. They're all snaky. Yeah, you got to be careful. So Julian has a great question here. Which gurus are fake? All of them. Hope that answered your question. And, that's a joke. There's some people that, are considered gurus that actually run legit wholesaling operations. Very few, but there are some. So there are people that I do know that actually have these stupid little courses, but they actually run legit businesses, right? I know a couple, and Yeah, they actually show me HUDs and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, you know what? You run a legit business. And they're like, just make sure you don't talk about me because I'm running a legit business. I'm all right, show me stuff. And I see it. I'm like, all right, this is legit. But for most of them, they're all fake. Okay. Yeah, these gurus don't be going to debt for this. This is just stupid. You know, it drives me crazy. But yeah. Let's see here. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Yeah, y'all got to put your batteries in the smoke detector. I don't get it. Your sellers don't like it. Weeks ago, it took me an entire day to do 10 sticky notes. I did 20 this morning. So if you're doing reverse drawing for dollars, it shouldn't be that hard for it. You got to let me know what you did, Sab. But I know you just talked to you. So let's see here. So I'm getting asked here, do you have a good script to post when looking for cash buyers? So actually, let me give it to you right now. So it should be in free wholesaling.com. If it's not in there, I'll put it in after this is done. So what I'm going to do is just go to freewholesaling.com and then go in there and pop it up. Hold on, popping up as we speak here. Oh, look at me. Whoa. All right. Let's pop it up. Let me get the ad copy. Hold on. All right. Here it is. So I'm in freewholesaling.com right here. And this is basically going to be it. All right. So I don't want to cover it up or anything, but this is it right here. So this is my ad copy for posting on Facebook. If you want to find cash buyers, all I do is I go to these Facebook groups, especially a real estate investing Facebook group, and I literally post this. Guys, I have cash buyers DM me, reach out to me, comment below. I get a ton of cash buyers doing this. If you post these in a bunch of Facebook groups, it's going to do good. Not in my Facebook group, right? Because I'm on Wholesalers Are Only Really Allowed. It's a wholesaling Facebook group, but just post this, houses at a deep discount. If you are in the Port St. Lucie market and if you're looking to buy off-market properties for 30 to 40% off market value and make big profits on your next rental or flip, then private message me. Drop your email or message. I'll send some of these deals. Just literally all you got to do is just DM your motivated sellers. You got to DM your cash buyers from there if they reach out to you. But this is my ad copy. I do it. So I'm gonna give people a second to screenshot this. But yeah, I literally gurus are going to charge you $10,000 to learn how to dispo your deal. And this is a great way to find cash buyers. That's absolutely for free. Heck, I could be charging probably $4,000 for a dispositions course, but I just give it out for free. Literally copy and paste it, screenshot this, put this in your Facebook group. I'm telling you, I gave this information out 2 years ago, and people that did it 2 years ago did even better than they are now. But it's still really amazing to do. So I'm going to copy this. This is why you guys have to go to freewholesaling.com and go out here and use this stuff. Go to freewholesaling.com. Guys, I got ad copy, charts, all the stuff in here. I don't know why I have to sell you guys on freewholesaling.com. It drives me literally insane. I don't know what else I have to do, but literally, I give it out for free. So go to freewholesaling.com, go to the free course. There's no regret. It's free, okay? If you don't like it, just sign out of the thing, okay? You can track your progress. You do all the stuff, okay? Free wholesaling stinking.com. That's how you do it, guys. I'm telling you, what's the name of the site? All right. I feel like I'm getting trolled here. Freewholesaling.com. All right. That is the name of the site. Freewholesaling.com, y'all. That's all you got to go. All right. It's all in there. So here's it is, house at a deep discount, blah, blah, blah. I put it in there. You can copy and paste it, do whatever you want from there. But yeah. Probably the same. Everyone tries. Guys, you got to understand, Gurus charge you $5,000 for probably 15, 20 hours of mentorship from there because they actually can't afford to wholesale real estate themselves. If I spent 10 hours mentoring you for $5,000, that's a terrible ROI for you. This is why I do not sell coaching. For 10 hours, I could probably do a $30,000 or $40,000 wholesaling deal, right? I can drive for dollars myself. I can go. For me, spending 10 hours of my time is not worth the $5,000. It is hands down never worth that for me. Why gurus will charge you $5,000 and do weekly coaching calls for the entire year is because they literally can't wholesale real estate. They can't afford to. They are terrible at it. Me, my time's best spent wholesaling houses and having my team do it. That's why I can do over $100K every single month in wholesaling real estate assignment fees, because my time is better spent wholesaling houses than charging you wholesaling guru courses. This is why I only go live 4 days a week, right? I'll record some videos. You know, I might spend 10 hours at most recording content for you guys. No, wait. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Sunday. So that's 8 hours of live streams and then 2 hours recording videos. So yeah, I spend 10 hours a week making content for you guys. Okay. That's pretty much it. So I had a choice. I could do 10 hours of videos on YouTube, or I could do 10 coaching calls with 10 students. And so do I want hundreds of thousands of people to benefit from my knowledge, or only 10 people? It drives me crazy because, like, all right, think about this. I could get 10 people at $50K a pop at $5,000. I'd make $50,000. Or I could have one guy send me a JV deal. Sorry, 2 JV deals, and I make 25 on each because they're both $50,000 deals. And then I make more money doing that, right? Guys, that's the way I do it. This is why I don't sell coaching programs, because I make more money wholesaling houses. And if your guru is charging you $5,000 for weekly coaching calls, all this stuff, just know they made the decision that they think they will make more money being a guru than they are actually wholesaling real estate, which actually shows how broke these gurus really are. But heck, I get in trouble for saying that. When I say that, I'm a hater. I'm talking smack. I'm immature. All the haters love saying that, right? But I would love somebody to pop on here and let me know that I'm wrong. But y'all know I ain't wrong on that. Okay. Most of the big wholesalers, if you gave them $5,000 for an hour a week of their time for a year straight, they'll say, heck no. Look at this. Let's do the math. $5,000, $5,000 for 52 hours. They're getting paid, these gurus. These gurus are choosing $96 an hour besides wholesaling real estate. That is so ridiculous. Okay. It's insane. These gurus are choosing to get $96 an hour of coaching and wholesaling $96 a stinking hour. That's ridiculous. So $96 an hour, 40 hours a week. I mean, so let's do the math here. $96 an hour. Okay. So I multiply that by 40 hours a week. That's 3,840 times 52 weeks. They're choosing a salary of $200,000 a year to be a guru over wholesaling houses. Heck, I made more than this. I made more this month than that guru made the entire year being a coach. Okay. This is why these gurus broke. I'm up. This is why I broke up with the gurus. They broke. I'm up. They broke. I'm up. We broke up. They broke. I'm up. That's how wholesaling works. All right. This is why these gurus can never touch me. All right. I just want everybody to know. So I'm not being a hater for the gurus when I say that. I'm not being a hater. I'm not trying to be immature for you. I'm just showing you the dang stinking truth of what wholesaling real estate's about and why I give everything up for free, because I choose not to be a slave to a 9-to-5 job. They're getting $96 an hour to do these Zoom calls. It drives me crazy. I literally hate it. Okay. I can never do it. So don't be doing it. I ain't no stupid dang broke guru. All right. I wholesale houses for real. And that's what I do. Bow! I mean, Mars guy, I wasted $12K on a program and am embarrassed to admit it. I didn't learn anything. I already watched enough free videos previous that I learned nothing new. That's the truth. You ain't going to learn anything in these courses. Okay. And these gurus are 12,000 here, there, blah, blah, blah. It drives me crazy. Don't get it. Daniel.
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
How are you?
I'm pretty good. Just getting to it. I mean,
awesome. What's up? How can I help you out?
I really just had a question about following up. So I've been doing the virtual driving for dollars challenge for the past 30 days. I think it started on November 7th, so about a month. I've collected about 2,000 leads, cold called all of them. I really only found about, I was just looking at it. I think I've only found about 10 really qualified sellers. But other than that, I have been getting a lot of no's and stuff like that. So I was just wondering, do you think I'm doing the right thing? You know, I'm cold calling, text blasting. My strategy is very simple. Skip trace, cold call, text blast. So I mean, I don't think it can get any more simpler than that. But I
What
just
skip
wanted
tracing are you using?
True People Search.
Okay. And what's your script?
Just basically, hey, is this the owner of 123 Elm Street? You know, they say yes. Oh, okay. Well, I was just wondering if you'd be interested in selling your property. Like I said, I've gotten a lot of no's.
What was
the
your
yeses.
contact rate?
It's kind of hard to keep track because I'm using manual dialer and not a virtual dialer or
If
you
you're not
know.
going to keep stats, I can't help you out, dude.
Yeah, well,
Did you get 10 hellos? Did you get 15 hellos? Did you get 1,000 hellos? I don't know.
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I
I
can
can't help
say,
you unless I got the data, bro.
right.
It's like you telling me that my arm hurts. I'm like, well, let's do an x-ray. I don't want to do an x-ray. Fix my arm. Like, is it broken? Is it not? Like, I don't know, dude.
I
can
will
give you a
say that
Tylenol and tell you it's going to be okay, but like,
I will say that I got more voicemails than I got hellos.
that doesn't help me, dude.
Okay.
You just told me your left arm hurts less than the right arm. That's great. I can kiss the
Okay.
boo-boo. Like, you need to get data, man.
So how would you recommend that I keep track of
Do you use Google Voice?
No, I actually can't use Google Voice anymore. I use text now.
You use what?
Text now. It's a
So you called from there?
yes, manually.
So you should be able to manually check your contact rate by seeing the length of the calls. And if
Mhm.
the length of your call is over 10 seconds, it should be an answered. And it should show you and every dialer how many answered calls and how many calls went to voicemail.
Right.
It's actually pretty easy to figure out your contact rate.
Okay.
So
I
figure
can
that
go
out.
through those. Okay.
It's the only way I'm going to know
And
if you have good skip tracing or not, dude. Or if that worked or not.
so also as well, as far as following up, how often do you think I should follow up? Like monthly or weekly?
Bro, I don't know if it's worth following up or not. I got to check.
Right. Okay.
Get me the contact rate, dude.
Let me see.
I'm very results driven, man, and I'm very
So,
data driven when it comes to a big list. And so I got to look at the data and see what happens or not, right? Because when you're blind with the data, you're going to get very blind with your results. Hey, I did this list and I did this in my marketing and it worked or it didn't.
right.
And we go from there, right? The issue is if I can't get that data, I can't help you out. And that's the honest truth. And when you kind of run around nilly-willy doing what you feel like for your marketing, it never works out. And so I'm not saying you're doing that, but we just got to get we got to lock up the data and sort of see what's going on.
Right. Right. Okay. It's actually taking a while to load.
Are you going to do all of them right now? All 2,000?
Let's do what I did yesterday. So I made about 100 calls yesterday. Hold on.
All right, Daniel, how about you go through that and get back to me tomorrow?
Tomorrow? Okay.
All
I'll
right.
do that.
All right. Have a good one, man.
All right. Thanks, Zach. Yeah.
Have a good one, Daniel. All right. Yeah, guys, if you don't have data, you're not going to know what's going on. This is why data is so important, right? Now, taking action is the most important one, but if you're going to hop on the one-on-ones and ask me what's wrong with my business and you can't give me any stats on your business, it's not going to do well. It's like going to Shark Tank and saying, hey, we're the financials. We have no financials. Do you have any idea what the company is? I don't know. Like, guys, you got to give data out, and that's how I'm going to figure out what's the best course of action for you, right? I tell you guys, wholesaling is war. And if you don't know what's going on in the battlefield, you don't know how many men you lost or who's winning or what's been working, or like, that's how you get destroyed. And you have to win, right? And you got to look at stats. This is how sports are won, right? People don't run around in basketball just willy-nilly, just playing pickup like that. Like, that's not how professional people do it. And you got to look at the stats. You got to look at the data, and that's going to lead to the best success. So guys, if you want to learn wholesaling real estate for free, you already know what to do. Go to freewholesaling.com. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow with Rick. Be exciting one tomorrow.